Week 9, NFL Power Rankings. Let's go ahead and get right into this bullshit. Number 32, Las Vegas Raiders. In the history of the NFL, I don't mean like the last couple of years. I'm talking about the history of the fucking sport. The most times a team has blown a 17-point lead in the same season is 3 times. And on Sunday, halfway through the season, the Raiders tied that record. The Raiders are really, really bad. The sad thing is they played really well in the first half of this game. Derek Carr and Davante Adams were going off. But then something happened in the second half where Davante Adams only had 1 catch on 6 targets for 0 fucking yards. 0. The Raiders only had 4 first downs in the entire second half. Now, I know a lot of Raiders fans out there, including my friend Ryan, get very mad when everybody blames Derek Carr. But it's really hard to defend his ass after this week. That second half was really, really terrible against a really terrible Jaguars team. Number 31, Carolina Panthers. P.J. Walker gets benched at halftime. They decided to bring in Baker Mayfield. You were replaced by Baker Mayfield. That sounds like a retirement plan right there, buddy. At halftime, P.J. Walker had 3 completions to his teammates and 2 to the Bengals. There's not much to see here. The Panthers got absolutely destroyed by the Bengals in Cincinnati. And I really think the only thing that this game did was scare off potential coaches thinking about coming to the Panthers to take over this job. Number 30, Indianapolis Colts. The Colts were 0 for 14 on third down. 14 times they had third down and 0 times did they convert. This cannot happen if you want to win football games. Shit, I don't even think this can happen if you want to exist as an NFL franchise. This game might have been the worst offensive performance by any team in the league all season long. Now, to be fair, Sam Ehlinger is not surrounded by a shit ton of talent. I mean, it certainly doesn't help that Jonathan Taylor was out. That offensive line just continues to just be atrocious. Sam Ehlinger was sacked 9 times. 9 times, Bueller. This was definitely a fire the coach type of performance. Dear Frank Reich, the quarterback in Buffalo sustained an injury and might be out for a couple of weeks. I don't know if you want to head north. Number 29, Houston Texans. On Thursday night, the Texans took on the undefeated Eagles. This was their 8th game of the season. Now, you would imagine that this game would just be best team, worst team. It's just like a blowout. On the opening drive of this game, the Texans scored points. Now, why is that significant? Because this was their 8th game, and that's the first time they've done that this year. So the Texans were without their best 2 receivers on the day, giving their only offensive weapon being Dameon Pierce, the rookie running back. You would think that the Eagles would focus on that, right? Stop that run. And they tried. They really did. They failed, but they tried. Dameon Pierce lit up the stat sheet, boy. By all rationale, the Texans should have been blown out of this game. Instead, midway through the third quarter, this fucking game was tied 14-14. Unfortunately for the Texans, that's when the Eagles said, all right, time to stop fucking around, and friggin' went off. Look, despite losing this game, the Texans deserve a ton of credit for hanging around against arguably the best team in football. Number 28, Green Bay Packers. I got a question. Is it just me, or does everybody have a friend whose wife is a Packers fan? My friend Chris, his wife, Packer fan. My friend Rob, his wife, Packer fan. My friend Cody, his wife, Packers fan. My friend Tony, his wife, Packers fan. What's that about? I mean, is Aaron Rodgers considered a hottie or something? I don't understand this shit. On Sunday, the Packers played the Lions. Statistically, the worst defense in football. And the Packers scored 9 points. So offensively, the Packers moved the ball. Aaron Rodgers threw for the most yards he has all season long. But he also had 3 turnovers, 2 of which were in the red zone. And they also failed 3 times on 4th downs, 1 of which was in the red zone. A 5th straight loss for the Packers continues them spiraling down this abyss of shit. And I can't help but admit that this all just seems fake to me. Like watching Aaron Rodgers in the post-game pressers, it seems like any minute now, the Packers going to be like, ha, fooled you, and reel off like 15 wins in a row. Shit is so weird to me. Number 27, New Orleans Saints. All right, I think the sun has officially set on the time between Andy Dalton and the New Orleans Saints. In a nutshell, right before half of last night's game, Marquez Callaway was wide the fuck open in the end zone, and Andy Dalton just overthrew his ass. That would have cut the Ravens' lead in half before halftime. Listen, I'll always hold a special place in my heart for Andy Dalton for what he did for the Buffalo Bills in 2017. But my man is not starter quality anymore. The bad news is if you put him back on the bench, that brings Jameis Winston back to the table. And man, that's not good for anybody. Number 26, Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers were on a bye week. They could not lose. Their record remains at 2-6. Not looking good for them. I had them at 29 last week. They moved up 3 spots somehow. Be thankful. Number 25, Detroit Lions. You trade away TJ Hawkinson, and then in the next game, his 2 replacements score all the touchdowns. That's such a Detroit Lions thing to do. All season long, the Lions defense has been terrible. It's so funny. Every time I say terrible, I got to do the terrible. But on Sunday, this Lions defense stepped up and made the Packers look, well, like the Packers. This Lions defense, after firing their secondary coach, had 3 interceptions of Aaron Rodgers, 2 of which were inside the 5-yard line in the red zone. They also forced the Packers to turn the ball over on downs 3 times in this game. All in all, the Lions defense played well. This was a great division win for the Lions. Must feel good to beat the Packers. But you're still 2-6, and you still need some work. Number 24, Jacksonville Jaguars. As much as I want to give this team credit for such a remarkable comeback, I'm not sure I can. Because it was the fucking Raiders. I mean, I think if I was playing defensive tackle, let's face it, I'm too fast to be a cornerback. I think me and you and everybody out there watching could do that, could come back against the Raiders on defense. But the Jaguars go on a 24-3 run, take the lead over the Raiders, and even Trevor Lawrence looked, the word good just won't come out of my lips. Trevor Lawrence looked decent. Trevor Lawrence looked not bad. Number 23, Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos were on a bye week, which means they probably lost still. They're 3-5 and still are a terrible team. Number 22, Arizona Cardinals. How is this Cardinals offense this inconsistent? DeAndre Hopkins, he's back and he's balling. James Conner returns. Robbie Anderson, Zach Ertz, Rondell Moore. How? Well, if you think about it, for one thing, Robbie Anderson, let's talk about this dude. Maybe he isn't as good as everyone thought he was. He sure has struggled in his first couple of games with the Cardinals. This last game on Sunday, he had some really bad penalties killing drives. Now, you would think that this would be a good situation for Robbie Anderson. He was finally able to get away from a short, overrated, arrogant quarterback from Oklahoma. Oh, wait. Number 21, Los Angeles Rams. Just when you thought that the Rams offense couldn't look any worse, Matthew Stafford looked you dead in the face and said, "Hold my beer, bitch." This game on Sunday against the Bucs was terrible. The Rams cannot run the football. And aside from Cooper Kupp, there's no one that can get open. This offense is awful. The Rams went 3 and out 8 times in this game. Now, I understand that it was the defense that ultimately gave up the final game-winning touchdown for the Bucs. But if the offense would have just played an average game, not even a great game, just an average game, they wouldn't have even been in that position. Man, Rams are in deep shit. Number 20, Cleveland Browns. Cleveland was on a bye week. They remain at 3-5. I had them at 22 last week. Got them at 20 now. Not much change. Number 19, Chicago Bears. Well, this is an interesting development now, isn't it? The Bears' offense just keeps getting better and better as weeks go by. Now, obviously, Justin Fields running for an NFL fucking record, 178 yards. Yeah, that fucking helps. But it's worth mentioning that the passing game is actually getting better too. Maybe not with the yards, but Justin Fields was out here dropping dimes. He was throwing ridiculous passes. He gained himself some style points for sure. Number 18, Washington. Washington held like a 17-7 lead over the Vikings on Sunday before they just got careless. A very huge defensive pass interference and a Taylor Heineke interception let the Vikings right back in this bitch. Ultimately, they tied the game up at 17. So it's late in the fourth quarter. The Vikings kick a field goal to take the lead. There's plenty of time on the clock for Washington. Nope. A defender ran into the holder, allowing the Vikings to get a first down, keep the ball, move forward, and run some more clock out. Washington pissed away a fantastic opportunity to keep the ball rolling, keep that momentum going. After finally getting rid of Carson Wentz, they've been rolling. They've been playing so much better, and this was a wasted opportunity. Number 17, Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons have themselves a running attack. With the return of Cordero Patterson, he and the rest of the running backs put up some serious numbers on Sunday. Now, the Falcons had this game in hand. It was absolutely insane what happened. If you didn't see it, it was crazy. With the game tied, the Falcons forced a fumble, recovered it, started running it way back. Now, they weren't in field goal range yet. The game was still tied, so who knows what would have happened. But the dude running with the ball just dropped the ball. It wasn't stripped. He just dropped the ball. He seen Justin Herbert coming in to make a tackle and got scared. You got scared of Justin Herbert. Yeah. Falcons ultimately lose this game. Stay tied with the Bucs for first place in the South. But yeah, missed opportunity for sure. Number 16, Los Angeles Chargers. I feel like we've been living off of the hype, waiting for Jordan Palmer to become a thing for like 18 years now. Well, on Sunday, the Chargers had Keenan Allen out, Mike Williams out, and Jordan Palmer had no fucking choice but to step up and live up to that hype. The Chargers played the Falcons. Sloppy game, sloppy win for the Chargers, probably because they're a sloppy team. And when I say sloppy, I mean overhyped. Yet they're 5-3, which really annoys me. Number 15, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So on Sunday afternoon, the Bucs played the Rams in a game which should have been captioned, "Which dominant team from last year can suck less on Sunday?" This game was fucking disgusting and so horrendous to watch. It was one of only 2 fucking games in the afternoon on Sunday. So most of us had no choice but to suffer through it. I mean, watch the game. The Tom Brady to Mike Evans connection has all but disappeared. Speaking of disappearing, their run game is completely gone. Leonard Fournette, what happened? This game was triggering flashbacks for me. Watching this game was very similar to watching a bunch of 6-year-olds playing t-ball. The one kid hits the ball off the bat and doesn't know where to go, and the coaches are just pushing them along towards first base, and little Bobby is out in the outfield picking flowers, and Kenny's on third base picking his fucking nose. But you gotta love the presser at the end of the game, and Tom Brady looked dead in the camera and said, "That was fucking awesome." Number 14, New England Patriots. Okay, I understand that the Patriots got a very convincing win over a very shitty Colts team on Sunday. But are we allowed to talk about how bad Mac Jones is? He looked terrible at the beginning of the season before he got injured. Bailey Zappi came in and revitalized that offense and had the Patriots looking dangerous. Then Mac Jones comes back and puts a halt to that offense. Again, I understand that they won this game convincingly, but I have a feeling that Bailey Zappi might take over as quarterback sometime by the end of this season because Mac Jones is not good. He continues to be not good, and I've been saying it all year. Number 13, San Francisco 49ers. Niners were on a bye week. They continue to be 4-4. I had them ranked 8th last week, and I've dropped them to 13. I almost feel like dropping 5 spots is a little weird and probably a little wrong, but I don't feel like exploring that and finding out why or how that happened. So they're going to sit at 13, and Julio, you consider this me talking shit about your team. Number 12, Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Tits. The Titans came into the Sunday night game against the Chiefs a 2-touchdown underdog, probably because their quarterback Ryan Tannehill was out. Malik Willis gets his second start of the season after only attempting 10 passes last week. And in this game, he attempted 16. Progress. The problem is he only completed 5 of those 16, not one of which went to a wide receiver. The game plan for the Titans was clear. Run the ball, play physical defense. That plan was working until it wasn't. And once it wasn't working anymore, Malik Willis was not the fucking answer. Once the Chiefs tied the game with that 2-point conversion, you knew this game was a wrap. I am not a fan of Ryan Tannehill. I have made that abundantly clear throughout the years. But Malik Willis, he is nowhere near NFL ready. Number 11, Cincinnati Bengals. It's been weeks. I keep on hearing, where is Joe Mixon? Fantasy owners across the country have been trying to trade him for the last 5 or 6 weeks now. And there were no takers. Sunday, against the Panthers, Joe Mixon went the fuck off. Career highs in scrimmage yards with 211 and touchdowns with 5. This was a very dominant win for the Bengals over a very bad Panthers team. Bengals are now 5-4. Still don't trust them. Number 10, Miami Dolphins. So the Dolphins escaped Chicago with a win, despite allowing 178 running yards to a quarterback that is an NFL fucking record. Tua played well. Tyreek got his yards. Shit, even newcomer Jeff Wilson scored a touchdown. Unfortunately, newcomer Bradley Chubb, not so much. He had 1 tackle. Yeah, but John, how much did he fucking play? He played 52 snaps, 1 tackle. Something tells me that that's going to get better as the weeks go by, but it was worth mentioning. Oh, it's also worth mentioning, fuck the Dolphins. Number 9, New Jersey Giants. Giants were on a bye week. They continue to be 6-2. I had them at 7 last week. This week I have them at 9. They dropped 2 spots. Don't know why, but fuck it. Because they play in New Jersey. Number 8, Baltimore Ravens. No Mark Andrews. No J.K. Dobbins. No Rashad Bateman. No problem. All these injuries did was make room and open up spots for other people to come in and play well. Kenyon Drake scored 2 touchdowns, baby. Rookie tight end Isaiah Likely playing lights out. Man, when him and Andrews are on the field together, that's going to be deadly. This offense is playing well. This gives the Ravens their 6th win of the season, and that's tied for tops in the AFC. Number 7, Seattle Seahawks. And the Seahawks just keep on rolling along this improbable start. Geno Smith is a baller. He is a veteran who has been around the block, paying his dues, taking his lumps, and overcoming obstacles. And on Sunday against the Cardinals, he did all 3 of those things. On the first play of the second half, Geno Smith had a screen pass intercepted and ran back for a pick 6. On that play, the Cardinals took the lead, and all Geno Smith did from that point on was ball out. He shook that shit off and went to work. From that point on, he was 10 of 12 for the remainder of the game and ultimately led the Seahawks to their 4th straight win. Seattle might be legit. Number 6, New Jersey Jets. Dude, Jets are legit. Bills fan here telling you the Jets are legit. Big applesauce Gardner. Now, I will say on the first play of the game, he got burnt right out of his cleats. Looked like he was on roller skates. But from that point on, he had a dominant game. CJ Mosley continues to be a beast in the middle of the field. I've wanted him to be a Buffalo Bill for fucking years now. Everyone knows about my hatred for the Jets. I don't like Jets players. Back in the day, LaDainian Tomlinson, one of my favorite players ever, went to the Jets and I had to root against him. CJ Mosley is one of those dudes that I'll root for. The Jets held the most explosive offense in the NFL to 17 points. They came back from an early 11-point deficit and put the league on notice that, hey, we are not the same old butt-fumbling Jets. A solid run game, a dominant defense. They got this team running like an old school team, and it's translating to wins. Vegas, at the beginning of the year, had the bar set at 5.5 wins for this team. They've already won 6. Number 5, Minnesota Vikings. As I said last week, the Vikings have to make everything difficult. They can't just win a game easy. The Vikings are a 1-loss team and had no business being this close against a Washington team. The Vikings started the game with a dominant drive and ended the game with a dominant drive. But what happened in between there was a fucking joke. I want to rank this team higher. I really, really do. But they're making it so hard. Number 4, Kansas City Chiefs. Sunday Night Football against the Titans. Through 3.5 quarters, I was confused as fuck. This Chiefs team, more specifically this Chiefs offense, is fucking dominant. What is going on? How have they only scored 9 points? The Titans, for sure, had a good game plan and it was working. Until Mahomes started using his fucking leg. On a 3rd and 17, with the chance for the Titans to seal the game, Mahomes took off for a 20-yard run that covered probably about 9,800 yards. Shortly after that, he ran in a touchdown, then ran in the 2-point conversion to tie the game. And the Chiefs ultimately won in overtime 20-17, making it the 4th game on the day to end in that final score of 20-17. Number 3, Buffalo Bills. It's tough when your quarterback plays like shit. I love the fact that Josh Allen called himself out like that. We were all thinking it. He just said it. And he for sure did play like shit. Both his interceptions were just awful passes. He was overthrowing and underthrowing his receivers all day long. You gotta give credit to the Jets defense for making him feel uncomfortable all day long. But damn, man, Josh looked like he was in his rookie year. He also needs to just shave that ridiculous fucking mustache he had. I honestly thought it was just me until, I saw on all the fan pages that I'm involved in, everybody was saying the same shit. Now, this game against the Jets may have been the Super Bowl victory for Jets fans. I mean, the internet literally broke after the Jets won this game because there was so much excitement in Jets Nation. I was half expecting the Jets fans to storm the field as if like Eastern Western Montana State beat Alabama. But the Bills still sit at the number 1 seed in the AFC. I'm over this loss already. It was a nice win for the Jets. Feel happy, Jet fans, 100%. But I'm already over it. We've got bigger goals and bigger things to look forward to other than beating the New Jersey Jets in a regular season game. It was the first week of November last season that they lost 9-6 to the Jaguars. So we could chalk this game up to the Bills just always looking like shit in the first game in November. Now, a couple little sidebars that I want to bring up here that you're probably not interested in, but as a Bills fan, I'm going to tell you. Because at the end of the fucking day, this is my fucking video, and I'm going to talk about it. 1, does anybody see the irony? For 4 fucking years now, everybody's been talking about Josh Allen. He really needs to stop running the way he runs. He's gonna get hurt. Let him sit in the pocket and make his passes. Isn't it ironic that my dude was in the pocket throwing the ball when he actually got hurt? 2, this Josh Allen injury has got me fucking twisted. Because for the first time in 10 fucking years, I'm heading up to Buffalo this weekend to see the Bills play a home game. And if Josh Allen does not play in this fucking game, you're gonna experience a very disgruntled John Larson. And finally, I read an article today. On that final play of the game where Josh Allen heaved up a pass to Gabe Davis, it was 4th and 21. It was a last-ditch effort. Try and keep the game going, put them in field goal range. Watching this play, I just saw him throw the ball. All I was thinking was catch the fucking ball. I wasn't looking at anything else. Also, when the Bills lose, I don't watch highlights. I take a couple days to get over it, so I haven't seen highlights. Read an article today. Every football has a microchip in it that measures distance. On that final throw, Josh Allen released it at the 10-yard line, hit Gabe Davis in the midsection on the 20-yard line. The ball traveled 69.3 yards. That is the longest pass thrown in a game in over 6 fucking years. Go watch that highlight and watch how far that fucking ball traveled. Josh Allen is that fucking dude. Number 2, Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys were on a bye week. I had them at 4 last week, got them at 2 this week. They continue to be 6-2. The last game they played in and they looked extremely impressive. I think that they're better than the Bills. I think they're better than the Chiefs. Quite honestly, I think they're better than the Eagles. Number 1, Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles found themselves tied in a game on Thursday night against the Texans in the 3rd quarter. Now, I'd say maybe this was a trap game, but the Eagles' schedule is such a joke. Who could they possibly be looking forward to? Fortunately for them, they pulled it together and pulled away in the 3rd quarter and got their 8th win of the year. Stay undefeated. But not blowing out one of the worst teams in football is a little concerning. I honestly don't feel like they deserve to be number 1, but at 8-0, it's very hard not to put them there. If you look through their schedule, I mean, the only real win they have of importance, of substance, is against the Cowboys. And when they played the Cowboys, it was against Cooper Rush. Now, I understand good teams are supposed to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. And that's why I have them at number 1. But I don't think that they're the best team in football. I definitely don't think they're going to go undefeated. And I can totally see them losing in the playoffs. I don't have them going to the Super Bowl in the NFC. All right, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. The AC is broke in my car, and I had to do this with the windows up so that you don't hear the wind and everything outside. I am covered in sweat. For that reason alone, I hope you appreciate these fucking videos. See you next week. Love you.